name is Mitchell Taggart. I'm currently a Chief Warrant Officer 5 in the United States Army. I'm a Special Forces Warrant Officer. Wrapping up 30 years of service and headed towards retirement this summer. I have been jumping out of airplanes since 1994. I joined the Army in 1992. I've been in the infantry my entire military career. You don't really notice it, but there's probably been several times where concussions were, I'd suffered a concussion, but just, it was the Army in the early 90s. We didn't do anything to other than, drink water and press on. But, I can tell you, I've hit my head on landings, on jumps. And then as you progress in your career, there are proximity to explosions, whether it be, in training or in combat, that exposure increased to a significant level, even before we started looking to what blast overpressure could do or would do to individuals. So there's been a lot of that over it's 25 years in special operations, and then you go back and you start thinking about, man, I remember that, or I don't remember that, and that's where you're like, yeah, I don't remember big chunks of training and combat operations. So that's definitely an issue. Over the years of service, as you get older, it's expected that things won't be as sharp or as clean as they were when you were younger, whether it be concentration and ability to focus, whether it be reading emails or on a gun range. To say when I noticed things are different is a little bit difficult, but I would say at least for about the last 10 years, I've noticed that things haven't been exactly right, but you got to chalk it up to age. You don't want to admit to yourself that you're just not as good as you once were because of what you've done to yourself or what you put yourself through. So then you go back and you think, if you're honest with yourself, like it's probably been going on for a while. So most recently, though, in 2023, I had a stroke, an ischemic stroke. The doctors still don't know what caused it. But I certainly noticed that there was something not quite right and off, whether it be specifically with my ability to concentrate and, how it affected my level of anxiety when performance just wasn't there. My wife actually noticed, something in my eyes that I hadn't noticed, and there's no way for me to tell, but I had the nystagmus in my left eye where it just was not, it constantly twitched. So, that's one of the things that really kind of made me realize, okay, probably need to get looked at. I will say that overall, the program itself, number one, right up front, it's professional, and that says a lot, right? So there's an approach that they could take, and the right approach is, number one, be professional. I did not realize that some of the very common sense yet simple things that they were going to do could be so exhausting, especially with the eye therapy, a lot of the motion and things like that. You definitely, 2 or 3 hours a day doing this, you don't realize it until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a very balanced program. I don't think that they put too much on you at one time or in one specific area, which allows you to get some rest in the afternoons and recover in the evenings and be ready to go the next day. Dr. Yates is a very professional doctor, and his approach to my situation was very common sense, and he showed me a couple of things that I realized, I can do all those things on my own, but he has my neck probably more mobile and my shoulders more relaxed than they have been since prior to any type of interdiction from the doctors. He's an amazing man. When I met with Dr. Kuros, she was able to confirm some things that we had suspected, that my wife suspected, and that I'd had other doctors look at. She confirmed that, and she also identified some other issues within my inner ear, the vestibular organ. She identified a few of those things. So there was a confirmation and a discovery period, right off the bat for the first couple of visits. I'm really happy that I came down here. I have a better understanding of what's going on now with me and my body and how I can help, not necessarily turn back the hands of time, but certainly mitigate things going into the future. I'll be interested to see how my wife, what she thinks. That's really the litmus test for how well things have gone. But I do feel better. I know that, whatever anxiety I had coming into this program, I leave here with a little bit less, knowing that, okay, there are some things wrong, but they're treatable.